In this lesson, we're going to go through quite a number of configuration choices for your new Google News website. This lesson focuses primarily on the how-to of setting up categories, plugins, menus, and many of the other items that will impact the appearance and structure of the website. While I will talk somewhat specifically about what is required for Google News and create this lesson from a Google News perspective, the Google News specific information about which categories are best for news and those kinds of things will be in a later lesson, so that those of you who already know how to set up WordPress in general may be able to skip that lesson. There's one exception to that, and that is the Google News sitemap discussion, which will be later on in this lesson. You might want to scroll forward to that, and I will also add some notes about that in later lessons in case you miss it in this one. So with all of that said, what we're going to do first is in our dashboard for newschest.com, we're going to go to the categories menu, and we're going to start adding some categories. Obviously, for a newspaper, categories are going to be things like world news. To add a category, you type the name as you want it to appear on the screen, and then a slug, which is a lowercase, no spaces version of the same name. We're going to add the category called world. There's automatically a category called uncategorized that comes with WordPress when you begin. Technology might be a useful category for us to write news articles about. So we'll add just a few in this sample newspaper. Health, perhaps. And sports. Just enough so you can get an idea of how it will look. Okay, every theme is different, and sometimes some themes will just capture categories and put them in the place where you would like to see them on your site, and some themes require you to create menus that include your categories. We're going to next create a menu from these categories, and we'll do that under Appearance and Menus. And although the themes are different, all of them have these basic components like categories and menus and so on. So we just created a menu called Main, and down below there's a list of categories, and it allows us to check which categories we want to add to our main menu, and we can rearrange the order of those in any way we like, and then we can save this menu with these categories on it. There's a question if we want to make that the primary navigation menu, and we do. For prominence purposes, this is the main menu, if you will, that will govern how people get around on our site. So now that we've done that, we will refresh this Newschest site and just see where the menu items appear. And on this theme, these menu items appear right here. Okay, one thing that you'll probably notice quickly is that my logo choice and color choice and background choice do not match very well. In fact, they clash with this black, white, and blue theme. So if we were doing this in a serious way, we definitely would have chosen a different color scheme for the logo and background and so on, so that it would match the theme. Of course, in many themes you can change the color scheme within the theme itself as well, so that you're not locked into a single color scheme. So I wanted you to see that this is how the menu works in this particular theme. And were we to click on one of these items, we would see all articles that have been categorized as world articles, and you do that when you post a new article. And next we're going to create an article, just so you can see how to do that. The article that comes with WordPress is called Hello World. We're going to trash that one and create a new one by clicking on Add New. I'm going to paste in some text from another article. I will paste in some text. Then we will insert an image. This is an image that I had on my computer already, and I just drag it up here into this area. Typically in the image title area, we put the whole title of the article. For now, we'll just type Atlanta Braves, and we'll repeat that in the alternate text. Google News does not like you to have links embedded in the images, so we should always clear that before you save your image. We'll use this as a featured image to make it available for the slider that will appear on the front page, and then we'll insert this into the post. We'll choose the sports category, and we'll type in some tags that are appropriate, like Atlanta Braves and baseball. We would typically also select the author, and that field we can include here. By changing the screen options, and now you see this author field has appeared here. At this point we only have one WordPress user named admin, so that's the only one that we can select. And that's all we need to do at the moment in order to publish this article. And I'm just giving you the quick overview just so that you understand what it takes to post an article. And if we go over to the site itself and refresh the screen, then you'll see how the article appears on the front page of the site right now. It will also appear in the sports category because we've categorized it as a sports article. And so that's the beginning of our news site with a single post. I've now added a few more posts just so you can get an idea of what a news site will look like once it becomes fleshed out a little bit. And we'll continue reviewing how to set up the layout of the site by next going to the Appearances menu and the Widgets option underneath that. Every theme is a bit different, but in this particular theme, these are the categories available that represent sections of the website that need to be laid out. For example, the area we're going to start with is the home page in the top section, and we're going to use something called a slider. The Genesis themes have a slider that's in a plugin. We'll discuss the plugin later, and we'll set up the options for the slider in another section of WordPress, but for now we'll just click Save, and then we'll go to the slider settings itself. It didn't take us there directly. Let's see. Okay, so here are the slider settings, and we are going to slide posts, all of them. At this point we won't exclude any posts because we intend for all of our posts to be legitimate articles, and we'll leave most of these settings the same. We can change the size of the slider. We will not show excerpts, but we'll show content, and we'll go ahead and leave this at about 150 characters and then see how it looks. And the title and excerpt will be shown at the bottom right. So we'll save these settings, and then we'll go take a look at the website, and we'll refresh this screen and see what the slider looks like when we put it on the home page. And what it does is it puts photos from the posts that we've made thus far and allows the user to scroll through them. Now this plugin will actually auto scroll, and we'll have to set that up so that it does that. And it's now doing that, and it looks like we need to make some adjustment to where this text is showing because it's truncated over here. So actually we can go back and do that, and I think what we'll do is we'll just move it over to the left instead of having it at the right, and then we'll refresh our home page again and see if that adjustment does the trick. Yeah, so that looks better with the text on this side, and you can change the details of this, but having a slider on a news site on the home page I think is a professional looking feature, and in addition to that we'll work on this sidebar widget area, and then we'll work on the area underneath the slider on the home page, and we'll do both of those things by going back to the widgets menu under appearances. Now it'll take a little bit of time, and I'm not going to make you spend all of your time watching me just add these things, but just to give you an idea of how we would do that, we would use something called featured posts, and we'll drag, this is a widget in which we drag over to an area of the home page. In this case it's the home middle left, and what we're going to do here is pick one of our news categories like technology. We'll title the section of the page technology, and then we'll associate the technology category with it. For now we'll show one post, and we'll go ahead and show an image along with it and maybe align it to the left. We'll show the title of the article as well, but nothing else. Just the title and a little bit of content, and maybe up to 80 characters or so of content with the words read more. And we'll save that, and then we'll do one more of those just so you can begin to get a sense of what the home page might look like when we've fleshed it out completely. This time we'll use the world category and select world. We will show the featured image of this size, and maybe we'll put it on the right instead of the left. Again, 80 characters of content. That may or may not be good. We'll have to take a look at it after we've set this up. So we'll refresh the home page again, and now in addition to the slider at the top, we also have two sections for two of our major news categories underneath. And again, every theme is different how you set it up, but each of them do have these widgets that allow you to format the different sections of your website. Next we'll do a little bit of formatting over on the sidebar just so you can get a feeling for how that would work. So this theme has a sidebar, primary sidebar area, and we can do things like recent post. We can add a recent post section here, and it'll ask us how many to show. Maybe we can set that up with 4 posts. And we could also add a list of categories to our sidebar. And there are other things that we can do as well. If we wanted to, we could show comments. We could add text ads. We could put a calendar in, those kinds of things on the sidebar. I recommend that you don't do things that make it look too much like an amateur blog. For example, calendar, tag, cloud, these kinds of things are on many blogs, and they are not on very many professional newspaper sites. So I would recommend that you avoid that when you make your choices about what to put in the sidebar. Sometimes I do featured posts with no text at all, just images, and I add a heading that might say something like images in the news, or the news in pictures, or something like that, and it makes kind of a nice addition. When we refresh this, then we'll see the changes that we've made to the site and how they appear on our site. So we have a little bit of content over here, and that's all I'm going to show you regarding the layout of the site in terms of making changes. When you look at a particular article, we'll click on this world article. The items in the sidebar remain the same, but of course the article itself looks like this.